to Hear All Evil, a show where we take a critical look at music and figure out what it is about that piece of music that makes us feel emotions or keeps bringing us back, gives us feelings in our heart places. My name is Jesse. I'll be your host. A little bit about how the show works. Each week I'll pick two pieces of music or songs or things you may have heard or may not have heard, things made of noise, things not made of noise, whatever you like. And we'll take an analytic view of this piece of music, figure out what it is that the music is conveying that is so compelling. Nothing's out of bounds, by the way. I'll be doing rock songs, metal, pop, punk, reggae, classical, romantic, Renaissance, jazz, noise, literally anything you can think of. It's all fair game. If you have any suggestions or you'd like to maybe be on the show, I'll leave some contact info at the end. Feel free to get in contact with me. We could talk about that. So, something interesting that happened to me musically this week, just want to mention really quick. This last weekend was Halloween, actually a fairly busy weekend for me. It contributed to delayed this episode coming out a little bit later than I had expected, so I apologize for that. On Halloween, I went to see a performance at Grace Cathedral Church here in San Francisco. Collaboration between that church and SF Jazz. They put on, or they showed rather, the 1933 silent film The Phantom of the Opera and had a live organist play along to the movie. Really cool. And she played a score that she had written, the organist had written herself, but had based it a lot on the original score that was intended to be played with the movie. Really, really cool, nonetheless. Actually blew out the organ. Yeah, I guess we were about 4/5 of the way through the movie, and the organ just stopped making sound. And they had blown out the motor. And it took about like 10 minutes or so. They actually got some of it up and running again. We only had there was limited, I think it was just like the tuba stops that were working, but it didn't really affect it too much. We saw the end of the movie. It was awesome. If you've had any interesting experiences musically, you saw a concert, even something just run of the mill or something you want to talk about, feel free to send me an email or tweet it at me or whatever you like. I'd like to hear about that kind of stuff. So I've picked two songs today that are near and dear to me and my heart. I'd like to talk about them with you. So hang on out, put your feet up, hang out, grab a cool beverage, and we'll get into this. Do something little unplanned this week. Not that I have like a plan for the show that I'm working off of. I do have like a list of music that I do want to talk about in no particular order, but this next song is not on that list, mostly because I just heard it a few days ago. It came up on one of my Spotify radio stations. I've been getting back into Spotify. I haven't used it for like the past year or so. I used to use it pretty frequently, and I found a lot of great music that way that I wouldn't have found otherwise. I've used like Pandora, and this past year I was using like Apple Music a little bit, and they're good, they're great. But there's something about Spotify. They just bring me the stuff that I want. It's like, man, they just know me. They've got my number. So yeah, what I'd do, I'd make a radio station based off of something I liked, and then I'd find something on that. It's like this is what you do. Then you find something on that radio station that you hadn't heard before, but you really like. Then you make a station on that, and based on that, and that's how I found this song. It was on my Radical Face radio station. Radical Face is it's a band that I just found through Spotify from something else, and I fucking love them. They're fucking amazing. I'm definitely gonna be talking about them on an upcoming episode for sure. They're amazing. But they led me to this song, which is called Old Friend. It's by the band, or I think of it more as the singer-songwriter Seawolf. It's this guy, Alex Church. Yeah, I kind of just heard it. I was like driving in the car. It came on. I wasn't even really paying attention at first, and then I kind of did one of those like double takes, you know, if you can do that to a song. I did that. I've just been listening to it on repeat for days. For like several days I've been listening to this song, which means it's perfect for this show. Let's see what we have here. It starts out with this um, kind of simple, it's got this like drum, I think it's some sort of electronic drum beat, very simplistic, to the point of being like overly simplistic. It kind of annoys me actually. Because you could, with an electronic drum set, you can do like literally anything you want. If you're just putting in drum hits in Ableton Live or in Reason or something like that, there's no need to make it so simple. It seems almost wasteful, but that's okay. I mean, I'm not really gonna harp on that drum beat. It's fine. It does what it needs to do. It functions the way that it's supposed to. But it starts out with this like really simple guitar riff, really pretty sound. On top of that comes in this delay and reverb heavy guitar melody. The tone sounds exactly like Explosions in the Sky, and I love that sound. It's so just this like clean, pretty guitar that's just washed out and very it's filled with character. It has this kind of character of its own, and I find for me it immediately makes me feel at ease or just like that I'm surrounded by something beautiful. Yeah, it just like that pulls me in right away. As soon as I hear that, I'm okay, you got me. I'm listening. But I mean, it's a very simple song. It's a simple pop song. It starts on a minor chord. You could think of it as like, if you were like going to use classical analysis, you could say, it starts on this minor 1, and then it's in natural minor, so it goes to the big 7 and then the big 6. I actually would argue against that. I like to think of, even like when I'm thinking of like a rock song or a pop song or something like that, if we're just using natural minor, it could just as easily be said using the chords from a major scale. If you've ever studied music theory, you know that the one chord, if you're using a major scale, one chord is major, 4 and 5 both major, 2, 3, 6 are minor chords, and then the 7 is diminished. It's a special category of its own. So how does that pertain to this? I like to think of it, even if a song starts on a minor chord, it's probably starting on the 6, more than likely. So I would argue in this case it's a 6 chord, 5 chord, 4 chord in a major key. It's super common. You've heard that in any song from any genre ever. I guarantee you've heard it. That's what I would say is going on here. And then he does this, so he's got 6, 5, 4, and then goes back up to 5, 1, 4. Super simple. He's only really using a collection of 4 different chords, and that's really all you need. Any good pop song is probably going to be just 4 chords. Actually, it reminds me of, there's a lyric from that Third Eye Blind song where he's like, and the 4 right chords could make me cry. These are those 4 chords. These are the ones right here. These 4. That's all you really need. In some sort of, it doesn't even have to be in this situated like this, like any kind of collection of these 4 chords. It's probably gonna do some cool shit. Yeah, the thing is, the other reason I argue that this is actually in a major key would be that the chorus is just those second variety of these chords. It's 5, 1, and 4. It's just those 3 chords. They're all major chords, and I mean, ultimately, the song is supposed to be positive. Ultimately, it's a very sad song. It's very sad, which is probably one of the reasons why it would be fitting to start on a minor chord. But there's some positivity in here that we're going to talk about. yeah, let's talk about the lyrics.
I know you don't believe me when I believe in you. I know it will get much easier if we wanted
Quite
to.
interesting. So the song's called Old Friend. He's saying, Old friend, come back home, even though you always were alone. You had to push against the fates just to make it through the gate. Just talking to someone that he cares for. This is someone that he cares a lot about. He sees a lot of good in this person, and this person's had uh, a bit of a rough go. You know, they had some shit that they probably dealt with early in their life, and it's affecting them later on. It was very hard for them, growing up, and they needed to disappear from some things that they went through. And then he also said, I mean, the chorus, you get to the chorus and he says, I know, um, I know you don't believe me when I believe in you. Wow, I mean, that's it right there. That's the whole song. Like, you're a good person, and I believe in you, and you have all this like good stuff inside of you, even though you don't see it. So yeah, this is really what I mean. This chorus is what I listened to the song for. Like the verses are pretty, they're nice. The bridge is okay. It's not my favorite part of the song. I guess it needed to be there for contrast, and it does a good job of changing the mood or the feel, but it doesn't it kind of breaks some things up as far as the song goes. I mean, so the whole song he's been like rhyming. Every line of the song rhymes. Each two lines rhyme with each other, which I will go on record and say writing good lyrics, they don't have to rhyme. You don't have to rhyme. It's okay if you don't. But I I forgive it because it does sound good, but I forgive it most in this case because when he does rhyme, we're not sacrificing emotional content or character development. Like he's really developed this character that he's talking about, and he's doing it even while rhyming, which is thumbs up. Thumbs up, Alex Church. That you did good. I like rhyming in that sense. That is totally cool. But the bridge, he's not rhyming anymore. A little, I guess a little bit. I can't say he's not, but it's just like here's the problems I have with the bridge. The drums, which were so simple, are now even more simplistic. Like there's really nothing to them. I mean, the whole time the song is going on, the drums are just serving their utilitarian function. They're not being used as a melodic device or contributing to the other content of the song as anything more than just I need to be here because I'm the drums and you have to have drums. This type of song has to have drums and I will do this beep bop bop. It's just like robot sound. It doesn't I don't know. It doesn't like if you didn't have the drums in there, it would be lacking, but you wouldn't be missing out on anything important. I'll be honest, there's a few drummers that I will always, anytime I hear drums, I compare it to, Neil Peart's great, Danny Carey from Tool, but mostly, and I can't remember his name, I feel really bad now, but the guy from Thrice, the drummer for the band Thrice, he's actually one of my all-time favorite drummers because you could take away all the other instruments and just play the drums from that this guy plays in Thrice, and I could probably tell you what song it is because he's playing the same. I mean, he'll be playing the same meters as another song, but he never plays them the same way. He's using the drums as an instrument. It's not just a functional tool, it's also an instrument. So I mean, I don't want to spend too much time talking about that. This is the opposite of that. This song, the drums are just a functional tool. They don't contribute to the song in any way, and that kind of makes me sad. But it's fine. It doesn't take away from the music. It doesn't take away. It's just something that kind of, I guess it's a pet peeve of mine. Talking about the bridge slows down a lot less. I mean, not slows down, but a lot less stuff is going on. It's mostly it doesn't have the same kind of feel as the rest of the song. I find myself like biding my time until it's over. You know? But there is one lyric at the very end. He says he's talking about like hanging out with this old friend, and he says we couldn't wait to get away. They'd be like in the forest and at night and this, and it's like, oh, it was so beautiful, everything was so amazing around us, but we couldn't wait to get away. And that fits back into this story of this person who's just hating themselves and just hating a lot of things in their life. But it's a really great song. I mean, all of the problems that I have with this song, they don't really detract from me listening. Like, obviously, I like it. I've listened to it on repeat. You know, I've probably listened to it like 30, 40, maybe even 50 times in the past like 3 or 4 days. It's really good. I like it. I like it a lot. It's that chorus. That's really what it is. Like the verses are they fit. They're nice. The lyrics are great. Well written musically and lyrically. The bridge I could take or leave, but that chorus, I keep coming back for that chorus. It's great. All right. Well, I'm going to take a little break here, and I'll be back with something else.
I don't need to fall at your feet just 'cause you cut me to the bone. And I won't miss the way that you kiss me. We were never carved in stone. If I don't listen to the talk of the town, then maybe I can fool myself. I'll get over you. I know I will. I'll pretend my ship's not sinking, and I'll tell myself I'm over you 'cause I'm the king.
All right. Welcome back. Yes. Oh, yeah. This is going to be a fun one. So speaking of listening to things on Spotify this week, um, I realized I was starting to build this 90s playlist. I have like an 80s and 90s playlist, and I was like trying to pick songs that like reminded me of those eras, and add them in there. And this is in there. This one is there. This song, it's called King of Wishful Thinking by Go West, Brit pop band. It's really just like two guys, like a band behind them. It just fucking sounds like 80s or like early 90s. Like it just has that sound. It's something about like the instrumentation, like the synth patches that are used, the fact that there's like, the horns. It's actually, I think they're like synth horns. The percussion, it's like everything's like synthesized, but it just has this very like 80s and 90s kind of feel to it. Like just hearing that, it sounds like, I feel like you could be watching, like it would show up in a movie. It would show up like, yeah, it would just like show up in a movie and be, it instantly dates the film. Like you're like, oh, this movie is from the 80s. you know, like I hear this song start and I'm like, I might be watching a John Candy movie. Like any one of his movies is gonna have that, or like something with Eddie Murphy in it, Steve Martin or like Dan Aykroyd. I hear like this something with like this collection of synth instruments playing. Like it comes in and you're like, oh yeah, I know where I am. I know what year it is now. I put it in this playlist, and I was like coming back to Spotify. I was listening to Seawolf for a few days, and then I was like kind of looking through my Spotify again, and I found this song, and I've been playing this on repeat after that. I was like playing this song and just like, oh yeah, dude, this is great. This is great. It's just like feels so good. It's this like really simple pop song, but it's really effective, and this like whole style of pop song, it does the trick. I mean, I wouldn't call this like a guilty pleasure, because I'm gonna talk about it in public right now, but I feel like I went through many years of my life, kind of avoiding music like this. Like I would listen to pop music and I would say like, oh yeah, it's good, but it's kind of cheesy and it's kind of lame. It started kind of like when I was in high school. In the 90s, that's what I would listen to, is like the alternative radio station, and I'd listen to like grunge and punk and kind of hard rock kind of stuff, and it's like pop music, I guess it's fine, but whatever. It's cool, man, whatever. And I've spent a lot of years like kind of avoiding that stuff, and pop music, it is pretty cool. I mean, you can't listen to this song and be sad. You really can't. You could try, but it's gonna be hard. And it's kind of a sad song. Ultimately, it's about this guy he broke up with someone that he really cared about, and it's interesting actually how it's presented. The verses, he's like, yeah, fuck off, like I'm cool, it's all good. And in the chorus, he's like, I'm just gonna keep telling myself that I'm fine. you know, maybe I'm not fine. I don't know, but I'm just gonna keep telling myself I'm fine. I'm the king of wishful thinking. I like how that's presented, but really simple song. It's a simple pop song. 4 chords for the most part, 6, 4, 5, 1. It's mostly the same chords that we heard in the Seawolf song. Like it's the same thing. They're just rearranged. Like, man, those 4 chords, that's all you need. It's really all you need for a good song. It's really effective. But it's also boosted by the vocal melody, which is also fairly simple, but it feels right. It floats over the top of the instruments in a really nice way. The guy's got a pretty good voice. Like, he goes pretty high. Tell myself. He's like way up there. Like, it sounds like he wasn't ready for it. No, it's good. It sounds right. It's right on there. Like I keep talking about how simple it is. Musically, yes, it's very simple. I think the most complex thing about this song is the instrumentation. Like, I feel like if I saw this song performed live, there'd be like fucking 80 people on stage, and it's really just 2 guys. Like, it would be the 2 Go West guys. One of them is the singer, the other guy like plays guitar and does like backup vocals, I think, and then they'd have like another guitarist and a bass, drums, keyboards, maybe an additional synthesizer, a fucking full horn section, like live horns, so like fucking a trombone, 2 saxophones, 2 trumpets, and then like a choir of 8 people, like on this like little riser on the side of the stage, and they'd be kind of doing this like shimmy dance thing and clapping on beat 3. Over you, wishful thinking. Like something like that. Oh, and percussionists, like 8 different percussionists playing congas and all sorts of crazy stuff going on. Just like so much happening. That's what I picture when I hear this song. Like, if it was gonna be, that's the only way you could perform it live, is with like a crew. Speaking to that, when I was doing a little bit of research, like getting ready for this episode, and I watched the music video for this song. Actually, I'm going to post it in the description. Definitely check out the video. It's something else, man. It is. It's really weird. It's kind of from that era of music videos when they were like, I don't know what makes a good video. Let's just do crazy stuff. So it's the two guys from Go West are performing for the camera, doing kind of like cheesy dances and doing silly stuff, just being being overly silly. And then they progressively add weird stuff, like more and more going on in the background. Like, they'll have somebody juggling or someone doing, I don't know, fucking handstands, or like, here's an elephant, all sorts of weird, crazy stuff for no reason. And at one point, the guys, they're in the foreground playing, and they kind of turn around, both look behind them at like, what the fuck is going on behind us? I thought that was a funny moment. Okay, and one other thing. So I was like watching this video, and I was just like, this is crazy. There's so much. What the fuck is this video? It's so ridiculous. One of the last things edited in, they threw it right back at me. It's just the 2 guys, no longer in the foreground. They're kind of further back, and they're like sitting in these fold-out chairs, and in front of them, they just drop from above the camera. They just drop all of these kitchen sinks. It's like, all right, Go West video director, Touche. uh, so yeah, I mean, I shouldn't be spending so much time talking about the video. It doesn't affect the music in any way. It's just funny. So check that out. But kind of going back to what I was saying before, I went through this whole period of my life where I would listen to stuff like this and I'd be like, yeah, I guess that's fine, but it's cheesy and lame, whatever. Total emo kid. But I feel like, say you were at a bar and it was awkwardly quiet. You're there at, 5 o'clock or something like that, and there's not a lot of people in there. There might be some quiet, hushed conversations, the sound of pool balls hitting each other in the background, and you're just like, I need to put on some music. You walk over to the jukebox and see what they have. You put this song on and you walk back to your friends. It starts off and they're like, what the fuck is it? Like, what did you put on? What is wrong with you? But by the end of the song, like, everyone's like up on the bar dancing. Like, it's such a great song, dude. It's like it's really great. Try putting it on repeat if you want to. Or don't. I mean, you don't have to do that. This song really keeps me coming back because of that chorus. The same way Old Friend, that Seawolf song, the verse is good. The bridge, meh, take it or leave it. But the chorus, I'm listening for that chorus. I just want to hear it. And what's funny is with this song, Go West was thinking the same thing. Like, they go into this bridge and it's super short. The trumpet and saxophones are doing this like breakdown. Just like quick little thing. They do it twice and then they go right back into the chorus. A little more bare bones version of the chorus, but they were just like, you know what? We got to hear that. That's what the song is. That's the important part because it feels so good for such a sad topic. This guy's obviously depressed about some breakup, but it's a feel good song. It's great, and I love listening to it. So yeah, good stuff. All right, I'm gonna take one last little break here. Come back and wrap things up. Well, that's gonna do it. Yeah, we did it. That is another episode down. I had a lot of fun today talking about these songs. I hope you had fun listening. If you ever want to get in contact with me, send me an email, hearallevil@gmail.com, hearallevil@gmail.com. Hit me up on Twitter. Tweet right at me at cityofwalls _ CITYOFWALLS _ I'm also on Instagram at cityofwalls, no underscore on that one. The show should be available in a variety of platforms, whatever you prefer. If you're looking to refer a friend, the show is on iTunes, it's on Stitcher, it's on TuneIn, it's on YouTube, it's on SoundCloud, it's on everything you could like. So go ahead and like it. Go ahead and comment. Whatever you'd like to do to help promote the show, I really appreciate it. It really helps me out. That would be much appreciated. I also do another podcast with my buddy Matt called Steamroller. Look for us on iTunes. The show is also on Podomatic. I'm working to make sure that it's on a variety of platforms as well. Slightly different show. We kind of just like talk about whatever we feel like and cut in some bits. We're talented folk, so we try to make a good show. If you feel like you want to reach out to me, I'm here. Let me know what's going on in your world. I have another episode in the works that'll be out soon, so look for that. Thanks again for listening. And know that when you're out there listening to music, although you might hear no evil, when you come here, there will be all